Hey, welcome to Rhymes with Vegan. I'm your host, Megan Holtgrew. Well, it is winter in Minnesota, which means it's cold out. But when it's cold out, it also means comfort food. My favorite comfort food is chili. So today on Rhymes with Vegan, I'm actually going to be making two different types of chilies that share a lot of the same ingredients, but have two completely different tastes, a red chili and a green chili. Thanks for joining me. Let's get cooking.
You should believe me when I say that.
Alright, so let's start out with the green chili. And the reason I'm going to start with this one is just I'm using tofu. And tofu just takes a little bit longer to absorb flavor, so I want to give it some more time to cook. Now I've already started the burner on our pot, and we want to get it a little warm before we add the oil, because then it won't spoil the oil. So what we're going to do is we'll let that heat up for a little bit. We'll add the oil, and then we'll add some garlic. So we're going to start off with 3 cloves of garlic chopped. Of course, you want to start off with garlic and onion, just like most dishes start out with, because that's your building of flavors upon that, and it's always a good base. Okay, what we're going to do is we want to add some oil to our pan. And then we want to add our garlic. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to chop up 1 onion. One Vidalia if you can find it, if not, a yellow onion's fine. I'm going to peel this first layer off. It's kind of tough skin-like. You don't want it in your food. Slide right down the middle. All right, I can smell the garlic already. It smells wonderful. All right, let's throw the onion in as well. I wish you guys could smell it, because it smells really, really good. Garlic and onion, I don't think there's anything better. Now that we have that cooking up, we're also going to be adding tofu, and I want to get the tofu in right away, because the longer it sits and cooks, the better it is. So, I got some super firm tofu. Let's just slice it up just like this. And we're just going to chop them up into little cube pieces. The thing about tofu, I find that you want similar shapes and sizes, because it will cook more evenly. It distributes much better when it's in the pan. You know, I didn't grow up with white chili. I wish I had. My mom was definitely the red chili fan. And I came about one day when someone asked me about a white chicken chili recipe, and I thought, you know I could make that. And I just had to figure out what was in a green chili and just substitute. And I came up with this recipe, and it's been a hit ever since. All right, let me rinse this off. All right, let's throw that to the side. Now what we're going to do is we're going to chop up some green chilies. These are just whole fire roasted green chilies out of the can. We're going to I'll probably throw, I don't know, 4 or 5 in there. They're very mild and sweet, so there's no heat to them. They just add a really nice flavor. The great thing about chili is it's so easy to make. You could throw it in a crock pot and let it cook all day. Come home from work or wherever you are, and then you have a nice big warm pot of chili. All right, let's add this into our pot, get it cooking. This is our base for the green chili. All right, so we've got the base of our chili cooking. Now we are gonna also add an Anaheim, which also is a sweet, mild green chili. Very good, very flavorful. Just slice it up just like this. I've already seeded it. And again, just a variety of green chilies, a few mild, and then of course we'll throw in, for some heat, we're gonna throw in a jalapeno. You could keep the jalapeno out if you don't want that heat. But it does give it a nice little bite, and when it's cold out, there's nothing better. Okay, so we've got our base in there right now. So we've got our tofu, we've got our chilies, we've got our onion, and we've got our garlic. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna add a little bit of broth. So I'm gonna add a no chicken broth. You could use a veggie broth, you could use an onion broth, whatever broth you choose. I'm gonna use a no chicken broth. I'm gonna add about 2 to 3 cups. And then I'm gonna add my secret weapon, which is green enchilada sauce. It's just packed full of flavor, so it's really simple. You just throw this in there. All right, so now we want to add our beans, obviously the most important part of our meal here. So what we've got here is we've got a cannellini bean, and cannellini bean, all it is a kidney bean, and it's white. And we've got Great Northern beans, and all Great Northern beans are pinto beans, and they're white. They're great, they break apart, and they make it nice and creamy. It's quite good. All right. So now we'll let that start cooking. I'm gonna throw in just a little bit of cumin and a little bit of cayenne pepper. And then we're gonna do, so we're gonna cut up 1 lime, and I'm gonna throw in a squeeze of lime. All right, so let's stir that up. And we're gonna let it cook now. It'll sit on the stove, and it's probably gonna cook, the longer you let it cook, the better it's gonna taste. So ideally you'd like to cook it, you know, the night before. That's not the case here. So we're gonna probably let it sit and cook for a good hour, and then it should be ready to eat. All right, let's talk about chilies and peppers, one of the main ingredients for the 2 chilies we're gonna be making. Now for my red chili, I'm just gonna stick with 3 bell peppers, the yellow, green, and the red. The yellow and red are obviously very sweet, very mild. And the green is a little bit more pungent, has a little bit more heat, but nothing extreme. So we'll use that for the red chili, and for heat, we're probably gonna just stick with cayenne pepper for that. Now for my green or white chili, I've got 3 different types here. I've got the Anaheim, otherwise known as the California pepper. I've got a green chili, and I have a jalapeno. The Anaheim and the green chili are very similar. They're very mild, and they're very sweet. You can get the green chilies in a can already roasted. You can see the skin comes right off of them. You can get them whole, or you can get them chopped or halved. Very simple, open the can, throw them in, you're set. Now with the Anaheim, you're gonna have to cut this up. You wanna slice the top off, split it down the middle, take a spoon and discard the seeds. If you want a little bit more heat, then you probably wanna keep the seeds in there. And same with the jalapeno, which is our hottest of peppers that we're gonna be using. You wanna cut the top off, split it down the middle, discard the seeds with a spoon, or keep the seeds if you want more heat. You wanna be very careful though as to not touch the seeds and then touch your eyes or your mouth. It will burn, so make sure you wash your hands as soon as you're finished.